Not only hard times for counties, but also for some politicians. And here's the reason why. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, is in the process of hiring auctioneers to go after politicians, litigants, and other firms for failing to pay the commission what they owe, and informing of outstanding court awards amounting to 400 million shillings. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, IEBC Chief Executive Officer Hussein Marjan says persons who lost their cases in election disputes against the Commission and were directed by the courts to bear their own costs have gone as far as hiring lawyers to evade paying monies owed to the electoral body. Abdiaziz Hashim spent a bit of time on that story and filed the following report.
Marjan do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matters under this consideration.
We are coming for you. These are the words of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, to those who have failed to pay the Commission what they owe it in the form of outstanding court awards amounting to over 400 million shillings.
We wish to confirm that the Commission has initiated the process of procuring the services of licensed auctioneers as advised by the Office of the Attorney General.
Appearing before the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee, IEBC CEO Hussein Marjan, who failed to mention the names and the number of the individuals who owe the poll agency, said that they have since recovered 6 million shillings so far.
Some petitions were filed by diligent litigants acting as surrogates for politicians out to cushion themselves against award of costs. Recovery of costs thus becomes a challenging endeavor.
The committee members wondered why the Commission opted for the auctioneers as opposed to going back to court and suing the individuals for non-compliance.
The much that we can do with the courts is to, even if we go back to the courts, the much they'll give us is probably warrants of arrest. And just like the CEO has mentioned, it has been a challenge to even get some of these individuals who filed the disputes.
This requires tracing by way of investigation, which requires additional funding, thereby making the process costly.
Marjan revealed that the exercise of hiring the auctioneers will be concluded next week, and the auctioneers will be paid based on the amounts they recover, which is currently set at 1.5%.
You have hired auctioneers to pursue these court awards. How much have you paid the auctioneers so far?
So we'll not just pay them in advance. It's just the effort that they've put in place. What they have collected is now what will now pay them a percent. Usually it's very small. I think 1 to 1.5%.
The courts capped the amounts, so it's not necessarily the amount that will be due. So it is likely to go down once it is taxed by the courts.
Marjan further said the body is unable to meet the timelines of key exercises expected to be conducted since there are no commissioners in place.
1 year later, I cannot be able to gazette an MP who has died in March 2023. It is a simple work of just gazetting a returning officer to do it and to publish the results, because the law has to be followed, the rule has to be followed.
During the examination of the report of the Auditor General for the year ended 30th of June 2022, saw the IEBC on the spot for manually dispersing funds to their various offices at the devolved units, as opposed to using the required IFMIS system. Abdiaziz Hashim from Parliament Buildings, Prime Edition.